Hey book besties, welcome to the Lucy Chronicles. Today's video is going to be my February TBR. Okay, so let's start with the books that I am rolling over from previous months into February. So let's just get the big guy out of the way. Okay, I'm still trucking along with this guy. This is The Count of Monte Cristo by Alexander Dumas. I have been reading this since April of last year. Now, to be fair, I have taken breaks from it, like significant, like 2-3 month breaks in between. But I did recently pick it up and start reading like 20 pages a day. I'm on page 772. So I am like 600 pages away, a little over halfway through. But I did the math, and if I continue to read 20 pages a day, I should finish in either March or the beginning of April. It's so good. It's so good. Highly recommend. I don't know how Dumas does it, but his storytelling is so epic and beautiful, and I love it. So I will keep you posted. Okay, and then I'm also carrying Cold Pursuit by Nancy Meal. I started this in January, and I don't have that much left to read. I probably could finish it by the end of the month, but I just know myself, and I'm in kind of a slump right now, so I'm just gonna carry it into February. Are We There Yet by Savannah Scott. I'm reading that on my KU. This is the first book in the Love Trippin' series. It is a spin-off series of her Getting Shipped series that I read last year, and I am very much enjoying this. It's not hitting me quite the same way that the Getting Shipped series did, but it's still very cute. So in this one, we follow Riley and Maddie. They are besties. They work at a coffee shop. They're baristas, and Riley has a crush on Maddie's older brother, Cameron, and then Cameron's best friend, Ben. They are taking this trip from Bordeaux, Ohio to California to work and go to college. And Riley's dad has bought them a Volkswagen van to use to travel and do this road trip. And so that's kind of the premise of the book. Savannah Scott's very good. She is a very good author. I do really enjoy her writing. So I have a couple of buddy reads that are they're non-negotiable. First of all, I am going to be buddy reading Ariadne and the Legend of the Fire Rose. This is by Christy A. Cole, who is here in Christian BookTube. I'm going to be buddy reading this with Jamie Gordy over at Read Brucey on Instagram. She does not have a YouTube channel yet. We are working on that. But there are a few other ladies who are wanting to read this in February, so I think we're going to just have like a group chat where we talk about this, and there'll be sprints and all of that on my channel. So definitely stay tuned for our reading of this. We just all wanted to come together, read it, support Christy. She's working on Ariadne too, and just encourage her in her writing endeavors, if you will. So this is Christian and it's fantasy. I don't think it's medieval. I think it's just Christian fantasy, but it sounds so good. We're going to read like 2 or 3 chapters a day. Very excited about that. I'm also buddy reading The Wicked Prince by Celeste. I don't know how to say her last name. I'll put a picture here. I'm buddy reading that with Reese over at the Writing Songbird. We are going to be reading about 2 chapters a day, I think, and I'm very excited because that should fulfill several of the prompts on the Once Upon a February bingo board. So I did also want to mention that Steve and I are going to be reading Titus together through the month of February. It's a very short book. It's like one of the shortest books in the Bible, but we want to do a deeper study together as a couple because Titus is one of our favorite characters in the Bible. It's who we named one of our dogs after. I will try to update you guys on that, but sometimes Bible study is very private, especially between couples, so I don't know how much I will update you on that one. Of Avonlea. This is the second Anne of Green Gables book. I am going to be reading this with Chantel's, like, a year of Montgomery challenge. And February, everyone will be reading Anne of Avonlea. So I want to do that. I didn't read Anne of Green Gables in January because I read that really like towards the end of 2024. And I just didn't really want to read it again. But I'm going to be reading this with the pen. Now let's talk about the books that I want to read in February. I'm hoping to read. And then we will talk about the bingo boards for Once Upon a February because I am going to be participating in that. And then we will do my prompt jar. We'll draw from that. Okay, so first I really am hoping to read Scarlet by Marissa Meyer. This is the second book in the Lunar Chronicles. I read the first book, Cinder, in September for the Back to Hogwarts readathon, and I just really want to continue the series. This is a Red Riding Hood retelling. It is sci-fi, it is young adult, and it is mainstream, but it is clean. I have read this before. This would be a reread, but it would also fulfill a few of the spots on the bingo board, I think. So that's what I'm hoping to read. I'm also hoping to, for it being Valentine's month, reread My Phony Valentine. I'm rereading these in anticipation of the third book that's hopefully coming out this year. I don't know. We haven't gotten confirmation or anything yet, but she has officially started book 3. I'm excited, and yes, I hope to read this one. And Love Does by Bob Goff. This is nonfiction. This is Christian, and this was one of the 4 books, the 4 nonfiction books for 2025 that I had in my goals video. And I'm going to read the back to you. Tell me this does not sound cute. So, as a college student, he spent 16 days in the Pacific Ocean with 5 guys and a crate of canned meat. As a father, he took his kids on a world tour to eat ice cream with heads of state. He made friends in Uganda, and they liked him so much he became the Ugandan consul. He pursued his wife for 3 years before she agreed to date him. His grades weren't good enough to get into law school, so he sat on a bench outside the dean's office for 7 days until they finally let him enroll. Bob Goff has become something of a legend, and his friends consider him the world's best-kept secret. Those same friends have long insisted he write a book, and he finally did. It's full of paradigm shifts, musings, and stories from one of the world's most delightfully engaging and winsome people. What fuels his impact? Love. But it's not the kind of love that stops at thoughts and feelings. Bob is convinced love takes action. Bob believes love does. When love does, life gets interesting. Each day turns into a hilarious, whimsical, meaningful chance to make faith simple and real. Each chapter is a story that forms a book, a life. And this is one life you don't want to miss. Light and fun, unique and profound, the lessons drawn from Bob's life and attitude just might inspire you to be secretly incredible too. It sounds so good. And I really want to read it this month because of the word love for Valentine's Day. Okay. I also would like to continue my journey in the Naturals series by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. I read the first book in December, I believe. And this is the second book. This is called Killer Instinct. And I'm very excited to read this one. So I don't want to read the back just in case there are spoilers from the first book. So, but all you need to know is that this is young adult. It is mainstream. It's clean. But this follows Cassie Hobbs, who has been recruited by the FBI to help solve some cold cases. And her and the team of young adults that they've recruited are called the Naturals. That's the program that they have named it. These are all kids who are just have brilliant, above and beyond psyches and abilities to read people. And so, yeah, this is the second book in this series. The first one was very good. I think I gave it 5 stars. So I would like to continue that this month. And then there are a few fairy tale retellings on Kindle Unlimited that I would like to read. One is called Hunted by Megan Spooner. And then there's one by Mary Meckham. I'll put a picture here of that one. And I think it's Becoming Hook. It's the one by Mary Meckham. And then there's a Melanie Cillier book that I really want to read. And yes, if you know of any that are better, that you think should be a better first choice, for my first experience with these authors, let me know in the comments. But yeah, so those are the ones I'm hoping to get to. We will see where I can fit them on the bingo board. So Once Upon a February is hosted by Taylor over at Tales and Treats with Tay. Please go subscribe to her. She's so sweet. I hecking love her. She is a beautiful wife, mom of the Lord, and she's just such a sweet friend and such a sweetheart. And she is the main host, but there are a few co-hosts, and all of these ladies are close friends of mine, so that is the main reason I am participating. But the co-hosts are Celestria, Katie over at Paperbacks and Ponytails, Christy A. Cole, Reese over at the Writing Songbird. I told you, they're all my good friends. And then Kat over at Cat Stories. I don't know Kat as well, but we have chatted a little bit, and we are going to try to sprint together. And she's so sweet too. She comments on my videos. I try to comment on her videos, and she's just a doll. So I'll tag all of them down below. Please go subscribe to each and every one of them and check out all their videos and content and stuff. So the bingo board's absolutely adorable. And I do believe that between Ariadne and the Wicked Prince and Anne of Avonlea, I think I'll be able to get a blackout between those three. So the first prompt, Quest, has a journey. Ariadne has a journey in it. Magical creature has an animal. Christy told me that there is an animal that plays a pretty significant role in the story in this book. Hidden Identity, a new to you author, Christy A. Cole. I've never read anything by her. Obviously, this is her only book, so it counts. Prince, More Than One Perspective. I think Christy said this one only has Ariadne's perspective. So I'm going to see if I can pull from... Yes. I was scared there for a minute. Killer Instinct is just Cassie's perspective. Love Does is nonfiction. Scarlet is just Scarlet's perspective. And yeah, Anne of Green Gables is a narrative. So My Phony Valentine. You guys. This will be a reread for me, but I do want to reread this for Valentine's Day. But this does have Poppy and Dallas's perspective, like first person perspective. So this one will count. I'm excited. Yay. Okay. And then True Love's Kiss, a clean fairy tale retelling. So The Wicked Prince will count for that one. Faithful Companion, your favorite genre. My Phony Valentine will totally count for that. Beauty, Something Beautiful. Okay, can we just talk about this cover? Also, Christy A. Cole is one of the most beautiful people I know. Like, she's just got one of the most beautiful hearts. Like, she's a beautiful face, obviously. I think she's gorgeous. But her heart for Jesus, her heart for this community, her heart for writing and for storytelling is so beautiful. And I just anticipate this is going to be a beautiful story, too. So this is going to hit it from a few different directions. But, yes, we're going to be using Ariadne for that prompt. Stroke of Midnight, booktuber rec. Okay, well, we know that Christy recommends her own book, but I also know that Reese has read this and she recommends this. But The Wicked Prince, that Reese and I are buddy reading, is one of Celestia's favorite books of all time, and she very much recommends that. So I think we're hitting that prompt pretty easily as well. And then Slay the Dragon, a book you meant to read last year. Well, there are a couple. I mean, I did want to read this last year. I wanted to read it last year. But, y'all, Love Does. This one I've been wanting to read for a really long time. So those are all the prompts for the bingo board. I'm very excited. We were able to do it with 4 books, y'all. We were able to do it with these 3 plus The Wicked Prince. So I'm very excited. Okay, so now we are going to draw from my prompt jar. And to determine how many prompts I have to draw, I'm going to roll a dice. So I'm going to flip the camera around so you guys can see. Okay, hold on. Okay, here is my dice. Let's go ahead and roll it. 4. Okay. Okay, so I got 4, which means I got to draw 4 prompts out of the jar. And if I have a book that I can fulfill the prompt with that I've already talked about, amazing. But if not, we got to choose a book off of my physical TBR to go along with that prompt. Okay, so let's go. Let me see. Young adult. Okay, I can do that. Should we choose Scarlet or Killer Instinct? I think we're going to choose Scarlet. Okay. So there's one. I have to do 3 more. Next. Dual timeline. Okay, do I have any on my shelf? I wonder. The Love Letter by Rachel Halk. Is this dual timeline? Yes, this one is dual timeline. Rachel Halk's The Love Letter. It says romance has never been actress Chloe Dashiell's forte, in life or on screen, but everyone knows who to call for a convincing death scene, and it might be killing her career. When Chloe is given a peek at the script for an epic love story, she decides to take her destiny into her own hands and request an audition for the lead female role, Esther Kingsley. The compelling tale, inspired by family lore and a 1-page letter from the colonial ancestor of scriptwriter Jesse Gates, just might break her out of this career-crippling rut. Jesse would rather write about romance than live through it after his past relationship ended in disaster. But once on set together, the chemistry between Jesse and his leading lady is hard to deny. Centuries earlier, in the heart of the Revolutionary War, Hamilton Lightfoot and Esther Longfellow wrote their saga off the silver screen. Esther's loyalist father opposes any relationship with Hamilton, but Esther must face her beloved father's disapproval and the dangers of war in order to convince Hamilton of their future together. Hamilton has loved Esther for years, and on the eve of battle pens the love letter she's always wanted, something straight from the heart. Set in stunning upcountry South Carolina, The Love Letter is a beautifully crafted story of the courage it takes to face down fear and chase after love, even in the darkest of times. And just maybe, all these generations later, love can come home in a way not even Hollywood could imagine. That sounds really cute. I'm actually excited now. So, that will be our dual timeline. I'm going to put this in here, use it as a bookmark. And my dogs are going crazy outside. Welcome to the Lucy Chronicles, y'all. Okay, 2 down, 2 to go. What's it going to be? What's it going to be? A thriller. Right? Perfect. Let's go back. Okay, last one. Middle grade. Okay, well, Anne of Green Gables would be considered middle grade, or Anne of Avonlea. So we'll count that one. Okay, we'll count that one. You guys. Every month. Okay, guys, so that is my February TBR. I will update you at the end of the month with what happens. I love you all so much. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a blessed week. And I will see you very soon with another video. Bye, and God bless.